Yeah, I'm over in the press center. I neglected to tell the people in Detroit that I was covering this. So.
Tell us about that meeting you had with Donald Trump. When it happened, what his response was?
I mean, it was a few months ago, and it was a great meeting. He was very thoughtful, asked good questions, and it was fun. It was good.
Did you change his mind at all?
Well, he certainly knows the facts, but as I say, the campaign trail is a different animal than anything I'm ever familiar with. So whatever he's saying, he's going to say. But but the facts, in my mind, speak for themselves.
Mr. Ford, as one of the big family-owned companies, we know that Sergio Marchionne's been going bear-hugging Mary Barr from GM for a merger. You have Volkswagen, you have BMW, Ford, and Fiat Chrysler. Do you think there'll be a combination among the family automotive, especially with overcapacity in
it's
Europe?
Interesting. If you go back to when I began my career, I remember in 1980, there was a big study that said in 10 years there were going to be 2 European, 2 American, and 2 Asian car companies. And all this consolidation was going to take place, and that has been predicted probably every decade since. And in fact, what's happened is the opposite. You've had a proliferation of companies, Japanese, Korean, now Chinese, startups like Tesla, Faraday Future. So I think, in my mind, it's very hard to predict consolidation. We're really focused on ourselves and on inventing this future that I've been talking about. So I don't know, but I don't see it in our future.
Mr. Ford, on self-driving cars, I know Ford has said in 5 years we're going to have cars without pedals and brakes. But in California, they proposed something that would not allow that to happen. Are you concerned about some of these state regulations? Do you think the federal guidance that just came out is enough to assuage some of those concerns?
I think federal guidance is always important, because the one thing that really, and this was true on emissions, it's true everything, to have one federal standard I think is really important, because it makes our life as a manufacturer much easier, and we can move much quicker than if we're trying to meet lots of individual standards.
What changes will you have to make to meet the set of guidelines that NHTSA released, the 15 guidelines that you would have to meet for self-driving cars?
Well, we're working with them, and look, this is a whole new area for us, and there are lots of changes we're going to have to continue to make along the way, course adjustments, new technology coming in, and so and as I brought up, here, ethics. That's all something that's going to have part of we're going to have as part of a national discussion. So there are a lot of moving pieces here. I like where we're positioned. I like I like our technology, where it's developed. But we're going to also, as I mentioned, have to have lots of partners as we go forward.
How about car manufacturing in Tunisia? There's a lot of talk that the Tunisian government wanted a Ford manufacturing on one of your low-cost cars to be built in Tunisia.
There are a lot of places around the world that we're talking to the governments, but and we take into a lot of factors: trade agreements. We take into factor political stability, size of the market, export opportunities, all those kinds of things. So we're looking all the time. We're talking all the time. Nothing to announce.
On autonomous cars.
Some of the union leaders are saying that